Stephen King's works have been adapted into many films, with several becoming classics in their own right. Here are some of the best Stephen King books that have been made into movies. The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick, starring Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. Jack Torrance, a writer, a recovering alcoholic, takes a job as the winter caretaker of the Overlook Hotel, where his son Danny begins to see disturbing visions. Jack slowly succumbs to the supernatural influences of the hotel. Widely regarded as one of the best horror films of all time, The Shining deviates significantly from the book, but Kubrick's direction and Nicholson's iconic performance have made it a masterpiece of psychological horror. Misery, directed by Rob Reiner, starring Kathy Bates and James Caan. Author Paul Sheldon is held captive by his #1 fan, Annie Wilkes, after a car accident. Annie forces Paul to rewrite his latest novel according to her twisted desires. Kathy Bates won an Academy Award for her terrifying portrayal of Annie Wilkes. This claustrophobic thriller is tense, psychological, and perfectly cast. The Shawshank Redemption, directed by Frank Darabont, starring Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. Falsely convicted of murder, Andy Dufresne builds a friendship with fellow inmate Red while enduring decades of harsh prison life. Based on King's novella Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption, this film is often considered one of the greatest movies ever made. Its themes of hope, friendship, and redemption resonate deeply with audiences. Stand By Me, directed by Rob Reiner, starring Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, and Corey Feldman. 4 boys set out on an adventure to find the body of a missing teenager in the summer of 1959. Adapted from King's novella The Body, this coming-of-age film is heartfelt and nostalgic. It captures the essence of childhood friendships and has become a beloved classic. It, directed by Andy Muschietti, starring Bill Skarsgård, Yeda Martell, and Finn Wolfhard. A group of children in Derry, Maine face off against an ancient evil entity that takes the form of Pennywise the Clown, who preys on their fears. The 2017 adaptation brought Stephen King's terrifying novel back to the spotlight, with Bill Skarsgård delivering a chilling performance as Pennywise. It also skillfully balances horror and heartfelt moments about childhood trauma and friendship. I love this film, but nothing will replace Tim Curry's Pennywise to me. Carrie, directed by Brian De Palma, starring Sissy Spacek, Piper Laurie. A shy, socially awkward high school girl, Carrie White, discovers she has telekinetic powers. When she is pushed to the edge at her prom, she unleashes her rage on her tormentors. Carrie was King's first novel, and its adaptation is one of the finest horror films ever made. Sissy Spacek's haunting portrayal of Carrie and the iconic prom scene remain unforgettable. The Green Mile, directed by Frank Darabont, starring Tom Hanks and Michael Clarke Duncan. Set on death row during the 1930s, this film tells the story of John Coffey, a gentle giant with supernatural healing abilities, and the prison guards who witness his miracles. Another Frank Darabont direct adaptation, this emotional and spiritual story is filled with powerful performances, particularly by Michael Clarke Duncan as John Coffey. It's a heart-wrenching tale of justice, humanity, and mercy. Dr. Sleep, directed by Mike Flanagan, starring Ewan McGregor and Rebecca Ferguson. A sequel to The Shining, this film follows a grown-up Danny Torrance as he battles alcoholism and confronts a sinister cult that preys on children with psychic abilities. Balancing both Stephen King's sequel and Stanley Kubrick's vision of The Shining, Dr. Sleep succeeds as a gripping and atmospheric horror movie that adds depth to the original story. Pet Sematary, directed by Mary Lambert, stars Dale Midkiff and Fred Gwynne. After moving to a rural town, a family discovers a burial ground that has the power to bring the dead back to life, though not in the way they expect. One of King's scariest adaptations, Pet Sematary explores themes of grief and death in a deeply unsettling way. Fred Gwynne's performance as Judd Crandall is especially memorable. 1408, starring John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. A cynical writer who debunks paranormal phenomena checks into room 1408 of a notorious haunted hotel, where he experiences terrifying supernatural events. 1408 delivers an intense psychological horror experience, relying more on psychological dread than gore. John Cusack's performance drives this gripping thriller. These films capture the essence of King's stories while bringing something unique to the screen. Whether it's horror, drama, or a blend of both, these adaptations showcase the versatility of Stephen King's work and the profound impact his stories have had on film. What's your favourite Stephen King story that's made it to film or TV? Mine's Thinner. What's yours? Tell me in the comments below.